Hey guys, and welcome to this video on the Sony Marvel movie release dates. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button to stay up to date with all the movie news we have going on around here, guys. So, we're going to jump into the Screen Rant article here. Sony Marvel movie release dates changed, Venom 3 added, 1 delay and 1 removal. So, Sony makes some big changes to their upcoming Marvel movie release slate, adding Venom 3 and delaying another film and removing another. So, Sony Pictures has announced a handful of changes in its upcoming Marvel movie release slate, including Venom 3, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, Kraven the Hunter, and Madam Web. Sony's Spider-Man universe consists of movies focused on Spider-Man related characters, starting with Venom and continuing its sequel with Venom Let There Be Carnage, animated movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the summer's hit Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, also hailed from Sony's Marvel universe. Now Sony has made changes to its Marvel release date calendar, which include adding previously undated movies and removing others altogether. The untitled Venom 3 movie, which was previously expected to open October 2024, but had never officially been given a date, will bow in July 2024. Madam Web now opens 2 days earlier with Kraven the Hunter that has been delayed nearly 10 months. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse was originally set to open March 29, 2024, but has now been removed from the calendar, with the studio considering new dates depending on how long the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strikes last. So if we have a look at this small chart here, guys, we got Madam Web. Old release date was February the 16th, 2024, and the new release date is February 14th, 2024, so it's moved by 2 days. Then we got Venom 3, untitled Venom sequel. New release date is July 12th, 2024. Kraven the Hunter was due for October 6th, 2023. Is now August the 30th, 2024, so that's a big delay there. Then we've got Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse was due March 29th, 2024, and that is to be decided, sorry. So, Sony Marvel movie release date changes explained. So let's jump in here, guys, and see what's going on. Obviously, we got the massive strikes going on with the actors and the writers. This is putting a wrench in the works of all the major studios. There's actors who can't, they can't be on sets. They can't promote movies. And then you got writers. They can't write scripts. They can't continue scripts or finish scripts or do any kind of writing on any of these kind of movies. So it's really kind of, just kind of upsetting the balance of all these movie studios and their release dates. So the biggest change to Marvel's slate is arguably Kraven the Hunter, which is a 10-month delay, but it gives studio time to properly promote the movie and drum up hype for the new Spider-Man universe property. Additionally, if Kraven had kept this October 6th release date, it would have been competing on some level with Marvel Studios' Loki, which premieres the same day. While Loki is a TV release on Disney+, it could potentially dominate the conversation that weekend, and though ensuing weeks not giving Kraven the word-of-mouth opportunity it needs to be a box office success. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. If you got two massive properties coming out, you don't want to risk your property being overshadowed. Obviously, a Marvel MCU property is going to overshadow the conversation with anything regards to media that week or that weekend that it releases. So you wouldn't want to release your movie trying to compete with an MCU movie, even though they're both Marvel. Obviously, one's Sony Marvel and then one's the MCU. So you don't want to get it overshadowed by an MCU property. However, it's a bit strange to see Kraven opening less than 2 months after Venom 3, unless Sony is hoping that the third Venom movie could lead to more interest in an unproven franchise featuring Aaron Taylor Johnson, Sergei Kravenov. Certainly, there's plenty of interest in Tom Hardy's third run as Eddie Brock, especially after the character's short trip to the MCU, though it's unclear if this will be addressed in the untitled Venom 3. Venom 3 was one of Hollywood's productions shut down by the SAG-AFTRA strike. Depending on how long the strike lasts, it may need to change dates and ensure it's completed in time for its release. So, as for Beyond the Spider-Verse, there's no doubt the biggest disappointment of all of the changes, considering it will be following up to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse's cliffhanger ending. Since it has been given a new release date, it's unclear how long the movie will be delayed, and that it may be announced until the strikes conclude. However, with the WGA and the SAG-AFTRA strikes, the key to the longevity of Hollywood and its workers, their resolutions are more important than Beyond the Spider-Verse release date. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. We got to remember, at the end of the day, we're movie lovers and we love movies, and it's disappointing to hear all these, all these delays and, all these problems with the releases coming up with these major studio movies. But at the end of the day, we have to remember why this is happening. The people within the industry, the actors, the writers, they're fighting for better working conditions. And I understand that everybody has the right to stand up and fight for what they feel is right within their work conditions at their workplace. So I completely understand it. That's the most important thing. So we just have to bear that in mind, guys. Even though like I keep saying, it's a shame about these movies being delayed and being removed and things like this. But just keep it in context that there's people that are fighting for work conditions, and I completely understand where they're coming from. Everybody has the right to do that. But for now, it seems that Sony has landed on dates for its Marvel movies, including Venom 3 and Kraven the Hunter, but more changes are to come. So guys, before we end the video, we're going to jump over to another article that's talking about the Beyond the Spider-Verse being removed from the release date. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more and just see what's happening there. So over here on CBR.com, why can't the Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse be finished in time for its release date? Reportedly, the film's voice acting was not able to be finished recording the dialogue for the film before the SAG-AFTRA strike went into effect, and this due to the union's work stoppage orders. The voice cast cannot complete the dialogue recording, therefore there is no time for the film to still make its original spring release date. A Sony source claims at Variety there will be a new scheduled release date in the next few days, but again, if the voice acting cast literally cannot finish recording the film, then any future scheduled release date would have to be inherently extremely tentative. So yeah, this is the thing. Nobody knows how long the strike is going to go on for. It depends the demands that the actors and the writers are asking for, whether they can be met, whether they can come to a compromise. We just have to wait. We just have to wait it out, guys, and just see how long this strike's going to take. Hopefully they can come to the table. Hopefully they can work out a deal at some point, and then these release dates can get back on track, and then we can get back to seeing, the films that we love without all this kind of issues around their release dates. So, what's Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse dealing with other delays as well? The interesting aspect of this delay is that the anonymous source of the animation team from the film have already been claiming that the movie was never going to meet its scheduled release date anyway, telling Variety. So it goes on to say, quote, "They announced that Beyond the Spider-Verse will be released in March of next year," he said. "I've seen people say, oh, they probably worked on it at the same time. There is no way that the movie is coming out then. There's been progress on the pre-production side of things, but as far as the production side goes, the only progress that's been made on the third one is any exploration or tests that were done before the movie was split into two parts." He added, "Everyone's been fully focused on Across the Spider-Verse and barely crossing the line, and now it's like, oh yeah, now we've had to do the other one." Recently, the producers of the film, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, also confirmed that they were willing to delay the film's release to make sure it was done properly. So with the possible delays already built into the situation, it's an open question just to when this film might be ready to be released. So yeah, that's a bit more information there about as to why the upcoming Spider-Verse film has also been delayed. They obviously the problem with the strikes, and they were saying that it probably wasn't going to meet its release date anyway. But yeah, guys, so jump down into the comment section. I'd love to know what you have to say about this kind of upset with the release dates of the Sony Marvel movies. Obviously, they have control of all the Spider-Man franchises. But yeah, just let me know what you think about this, guys. It's a shame that our movies are going to be struggling with their release dates due to the strike. But like I say, guys, bear in mind people are fighting for their rights in their workplace. So I get that. And I would love to hear what you have to say about it, guys. See you later.